Hey, welcome to another edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. Final week of the regular season is upon us, and then, of course, district tournament. Next thing you know, we're going to have seating and selection. That's always a fun time of the year. Be sure to log on to ProviewNetworks.com. You can get our full basketball schedule there. Some districts still to be decided, and we're going to be busy the next couple of weeks. That's for sure as we head into the state tournament. My guest today is one of the best big men in the state here in New Mexico, Volcano Vista's Terrin. Dickey. Terrin, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Man, you guys are having a fantastic season, and we'll get to all that. But let's look at this week a little bit. Look ahead. Obviously, you guys are going to close out with Rio Rancho and Atrisco, right? So talk about that.
So yeah, we are at Rio Rancho, which is going to be a big one for us. Definitely a must-win. Going into a hostile environment, definitely going to be a hard one. And then with Atrisco too, they're coming to our house, so we'll most definitely get. They're going to get our best, and we're going to get their best again too.
That Atrisco matchup intriguing. First of all, is it just me, or is Atrisco becoming one of the best environments to play at in the city? It seems like they bring the students. The games are always loud. It gets rowdy, right? Is that?
Yes, sir.
Do you guys notice that on the floor?
Yeah, most definitely. These last 2-3 years I've gone to Atrisco. Definitely the best environment I've played in so far. Very loud. Student section, always heckling. It's really a great environment. I love it.
So that's a challenge to the Hawk student section, right? To get out there, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
I mean, those games are intense. And talk about your season a little bit here. Highlights so far?
Highlights of the season. Definitely the first big district opener win against Cleveland was a big one. Definitely the Joe Armijo championship against Atrisco was a big one for us, and then that's about it so far.
You guys kind of had it rolling early, right? You guys were Armijo tournament rolling there into the Metro tournament. Was there ever any fear of maybe peaking too soon? I mean, because you guys had that thing going pretty early.
No, there wasn't really no fear of peaking too soon. Staying consistent was our big issue, and just like our main focus is just staying consistent. And then losing Jaquan was definitely kind of a setback for us, but it didn't really affect us come Metro tournament. You see, we still made it to the finals, but definitely not peaking wasn't really our.
And we'll backtrack a little bit here. So let's talk about, obviously you have to come from a pretty athletic family because your brother, obviously what he's doing. You were telling me a little bit about your sister. So let's start there.
Yeah, definitely. Both my parents, dad played football his life. Mom was a cheerleader in high school. Definitely gave us some athleticism. Then brother and sister, brother football, D1 football.
Right.
Sister playing soccer throughout her entire high school, middle school career.
So are both of your parents like 7'4"? What's the deal? What's the deal with that?
No. Yeah, I don't know how I became so tall. My dad's about 6'2", 6'3".
Okay.
My mom's 5'10", 5'11". Definitely, I got all the height. My mom has a cousin that's actually like 6'6", 6'7", so that's probably where I got some of it from.
So, do you and your brother just walk around and call your dad tiny, or what do you guys do?
Yeah, he still tries to manhandle us with his old man strength he always says he has.
That's real.
It definitely is real. Me and my brother try to take him sometimes. Can't really get the best of him though.
Okay. So with his football background, did you have a natural inclination to start with football?
That's what I feel like people would assume that's where I would have started. It definitely was with my brother, but for me, it was definitely soccer because of my sister. I don't know why I kind of looked up to my sister at first just because she's the oldest.
Right.
But then eventually my brother and my dad did get me into football.
Well, let's start at soccer then. When did that start?
Soccer, probably about first or second grade, I'd say, as young as I could remember.
Okay, are you a Messi guy or a Ronaldo guy?
Definitely Messi.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm neither. They both cheat on their taxes.
Oh.
I only like the
Yeah.
German players because I'm German.
Oh,
so
I like the German
I root
players.
for the German
Yes,
players.
sir.
All right, so tell us about your early soccer success.
Early soccer success, I was a very just like quick on my feet. I wasn't as tall as I was playing soccer, so I was always like lower and quicker. I was the defender, definitely like a top defender on my team like every year. And then eventually towards the end of my soccer career, I became more of a forward and attacker. As I got taller, I still like maintained my speed, but yeah, just outgrew it.
And so when did that when did it become apparent, like, hey, we're not going to have any 6'8" soccer players out here? So when did that become apparent that you were too tall to play soccer?
Well, it's just like during soccer games, I'd just be pushing kids down, bullying them, and I'd just get called for fouls every single time. So then eventually I was
Also
just
like playing in an APS basketball game.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Same problem over here.
All right.
But yeah, and then I was just like one summer I grew 7 inches too. So then I went from being like 5'10" to like 6'4", 6'5", and then eventually I was like, maybe I should try basketball, and then that's where it came from.
And how old were you when this happened now?
This
or
was
what grade?
7th grade was when I started playing basketball.
Okay. How did coaches, I mean, when you leave them at 5-something and then you come back 6'4", your coach's eyes have to be lit up, right?
Yeah, most definitely. It was definitely like a crazy transition. It was kind of a hard transition playing that soccer that last year with my growing pains, like with my knees and stuff. And then like you even saw through my early stages of high school, just like the goofiness, like uncoordinated. It was definitely a hard transition, but coaches definitely like saw potential in me.
So what was the hardest part of the transition from soccer to basketball?
Just I just say like getting used to the rock in my hand, because always playing with my feet all the time, and then just transitioning to a ball in my hand was definitely like the big change.
And when did you think that clicked?
Definitely, I'd say going into my my sophomore year is like when it like officially clicked, and like I was like fully like into like basketball, and like I realized like I had like a chance in this sport.
Right. What are some drills, or what did you guys do to, I guess, get you transitioned from soccer to basketball?
My dad definitely put in a lot of work for me, always getting me he always got me personal trainers, helping me with my feet, with my hands. He just I got to owe it all to him, really. He really just like set me up for this success in basketball, just gave me all the training I needed.
And obviously, so you go to Volcano Vista, tough school to kind of break into a basketball rotation, right?
Yes, sir.
So, was that weighing heavily in your mind? Like, hey, it's not like I can just get out here and be this uncoordinated guy and play. Usually it takes a lot to get on the floor at Volcano Vista. Was that weighing in your mind?
Yeah, a little bit. In 8th grade, I played at LBJ with Josiah, Eloy, Elijah Gaxiola, and all of them. And like honestly, playing with all of them through middle school, all that great competition definitely helped me transition into a great it gave me confidence to go to Volcano and be like, I could maybe do something here, but like definitely they gave me some confidence at LBJ.
So you played with those three. Which of those three stood out back then already? Were they all kind of at an equal level, or was there one? Could you tell that Josiah was going to be Josiah already back then, or?
Yeah, all of them I saw the potential in all of them really, but back then I feel like all the spotlight was on Eloy, really, just his height, his deep range shot, and his ability to dunk back then. It was definitely on him, but Josiah definitely, I saw the potential in him from day one when we started practicing the leadership.
Well, we're going to take our first time out here. When we get back with Terrin, we'll talk about those uncoordinated freshman days and transition right into Volcano Vista.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Local Union 412. Find a career with benefits and not just a job at UA Local 412 Training Center. We are looking for plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC tech apprentices and journeymen. Call 505 256-9257. Local Union 412.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
We smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Well, we're back with Terrin Dickey. So your soccer career has now come to a close.
Yes, sir.
And here you are as an uncoordinated, hopefully soon-to-be basketball player. That's where we'll pick it up. Obviously, we'll talk about your freshman year. I mean, take us through that.
So my freshman year, I missed some of the summer tournaments because just wasn't able to make some of them. So it definitely gave me a late start in the high school career. But coming in with my brother was in the basketball program. So Coach Brown knew of me and knew who I was coming in. So he was gonna give me a chance to go and play out there, not on varsity right away, but he saw the potential, maybe JV. My dad got me jump roping a lot though, so that definitely was what made the difference and helped me jump from uncoordinated to slightly.
That's a big. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. That's a big JV White thing too. He credits that too to some of his good footwork. Okay, first of all, since you mentioned your brother, I mean, your brother's just a stud athlete at Volcano, so obviously that gave you something to try to shoot for, right? But that had to be some pressure on you too, right? Talk about that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just growing up, ever since I hit high school, I was looking up to my brother all the time, seeing what he was doing with football, and then come to senior year, see the things he did, and looking up to him. I was kind of nervous at first for the pressure, but as it came closer, I knew I was going to be ready for it and accept the challenge that I had to face.
When did you feel like you kind of transitioned to, okay, there's the brother, he's tall, so he's on the roster, to now you're coming into your own?
I would just say going into my junior year,
Right.
that confidence, the confidence level from my sophomore to junior year definitely made a big jump going into knowing that I was going to be definitely a big asset on Coach Brown's team.
Right.
And it was just all mainly confidence in my
And how much did the strength of that team and how good that team and how much size that team had, how much did that help you? Because obviously in practice you had to go against those guys every day. So talk about that.
Oh, that was definitely the biggest part of my development from last year to this year was going against Jacob Aragon, Cesar Madrid, and Jelante every day at practice, 3 hours just going head to head. It was definitely a big part of my development.
Did you ever have a chance for David to posterize you?
Actually, this year,
intersect at all?
Coach Brown brought in David a couple practices this year, and me and him would go at it. It was definitely he'd have that strength on me, but I'd be able to get him sometimes just with my development.
So, but you guys never ran into each other back then?
Oh no, not back then, but
because I can remember who was it? Yeah, Jimmy Gallegos was telling us the story how when he was just a freshman there at Volcano, he ran into some of the varsity seniors, and they just abused him, man, with their physicality. All right, so the year start. Well, first of all, what did you do in the summer? Because your development from last year to this is pretty significant, especially with footwork, finishing around the rim with both hands. So obviously you had to put in some work in the summer. Talk about that.
Yeah, most definitely. I put in a lot of work this summer, traveling. I traveled probably almost every weekend from April up until June or until July. And then my dad always had me constantly training with all these guys he knows, and then just going back to jump roping and just all kinds of skills with my hands and catching the ball and stuff.
How hard is it for big guys to get better? And I ask that because, well, one, obviously there's not a lot of you guys out there, right? And then two, I mean, as far as in games, you guys are always in foul trouble, it seems like, here in New Mexico. Yeah. So that's got to be tough too. So how do big guys get better?
It's definitely just confidence from your coach, just the belief from your coach, because that's what keeps me going is Coach Cuevas and Coach Brown and Coach Bates all just believing in me, telling me just to keep going regardless of what the foul situation is or what are the refs calling. Just tell me just to focus on me, just focus on what I got to do.
All right. Let's talk about Coach Brown a little bit. I would imagine that there are not a lot of things worse than a Greg Brown practice. Right? I can imagine 99% of defense, and maybe he lets you take 2 or 3 jumpers at the end.
The 1%
Tell me what it's like.
Yeah, most definitely the most intense practices I've ever been through, ever since sophomore year. Always defensive focused, always everyone's just going at each other's throats all the time. Definitely very competitive. And then just the emphasis of defense, that's what we based ourselves off of, is our defense. And then they are hard, but like it definitely benefits us in the end.
Now, does Papa Brown come to practice too? Because he's pretty intense
yes,
too,
sir,
right?
Papa Brown.
Talk about him. 'Cause he's quiet on the sideline, but I remember when he used to coach. I mean, he makes Greg and Danny seem calm. So you talk about Papa Brown a little bit.
I'd say like Coach Brown's definitely like outlouded him, but Papa Brown's still there every day. He comes in, watches film. He watches film and then comes in and gives us scouting reports all the time. He's definitely a big asset of our team. He always keeps me in my mind right when I'm out there on the court, and like I sometimes get frustrated. He'll come and talk me down, and then he's definitely a big part of this team. Man.
What about? I mean, you guys it seems to me, I've gotten to watch a few games, especially at the Academy tournament, where I wasn't broadcasting, and I got to sit behind Greg's bench. And what really stood out to me was that, well, one, he's always got a point guard leader out there. Dion seems to get you guys organized. And just the energy and pace you guys play with. Not a lot of teams can hang with that. I mean, is that a conscious effort? Do you guys, the energy, the pace, talk about his philosophy in practice?
Yes, sir. The energy and the pace are our number one priority. Every single practice, Coach Brown comes in, let's work on our pace, let's work on our pace. We just get up and down the court, whether it's just like 3-man weave or just like our 100 drill, just shooting. Pace is definitely a big emphasis every practice. And then energy and just everyone knows their role on the team. No one's crying about playing time or anything. Everyone's biggest fan out there, and it's just like great to hear everyone just cheering for one another with great energy.
Now back to pace. I mean, do you see it pay off on the court? I mean, has there been games this year where you can just tell these guys cannot stay on the floor with us, we're going to run them out of the gym?
Yeah, there definitely have been a few of those games. Pace, we definitely just get going, especially with my agility that I've definitely developed. I can run the court very well now, and just the paces, I can match the pace, and like I'm not getting like left behind when I run.
Right. So let's get back to this big man conversation, right? There's a few in the city now.
Most definitely.
So who are the toughest to go up against?
The toughest, number one, my guy Trey Watson at Cleveland is definitely my number one guy to go with. Hardest guy I ever had to go against. We're always going at each other's heads every single game. Definitely him. And then definitely another underdog, Daraje from Eldo. Right. He's definitely a great player, putting himself on the map. Definitely a tough competition to go against.
Did you guys play Highland this year?
I've not had the
chance
to
not played
at Jose. Yeah, I was gonna talk about Jose. I've seen his game, and he's a very great big man. I was gonna say something, but I haven't played him yet.
Right. Okay. So that's interesting because he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I mean, does that kind of a little extra motivation when you're playing a team with a big guy? Talk about that.
Yeah, most definitely. There's a little more pressure on me, like to like lock them down and like play good defense on them. But like I'll accept that challenge. Like I'm not scared. I'm not gonna back down from them. It's just it gets me excited, honestly, knowing I'm going against Trey or Daraje or another great big man in the state. It's just it gives me energy and like motivates me like to go hard against them.
All right, well, so what's your go-to against Trey? Like, what's the movie? You know, he's not gonna have it. You know?
Probably my move is just posting up and just either just catch it face up and just rip through, or catch it face up and jab and then go on him.
What about a dream shake? You know anything about that, or you got to ask the old man about
shake.
that? I think you might have the dexterity to pull off a dream shake. I think.
I've done it at practice a couple of times.
All
Coach
right.
Brown's even pointed it out to me sometimes. Like I'll do a little dream shake and get someone. I'll get someone at practice sometimes, but I haven't pulled it out in the game yet.
All right. Well, we'll take another timeout. We're going to look for the dream shake the next time you're on the floor this week. We'll be right back with more.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green
green. And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
We smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
All right, we're back with Volcano Vista big man Terrin Dickey. We've been talking about, where it all started from soccer to basketball, but now, you guys got a little bit of work to do left on the schedule, right? You got district tournament coming up, and obviously your goals are always the same when you play at a program like that. It's a state title. Talk about that.
Yes, sir. Definitely always competing for championships at Volcano. Definitely a great program that we've developed. Everyone that's been through that program has developed into. We just need to focus on we need to just focus on us right now and do what we need to do to be right for when state and then the district tournament comes around, really.
And obviously the big thing for you guys is you played a long time without Jaquan Hill, one of the best players in the state, especially off the dribble. Yeah. And, I thought that's kind of what you guys were missing in some of those games where late maybe you needed a guy that could beat somebody off the bounce, and Jaquan wasn't out there. So now you got your whole unit back, and is that exciting as a player? Because you guys can kind of re-peak right at the right time, right?
Yes, sir.
So
and yeah, this is definitely great timing for us. Jaquan's definitely a great driver on the team. Gets us good looks. He's definitely always dropping me dimes all the time. So I'm looking forward. It's great to have him back, honestly.
Tournament. So much has to go right. Volcano Vista is a perfect example. A few years ago, where one player can kind of carry you through a tournament, the way David did, and you guys got hot at the right time. So much has to go right, but obviously you guys have to do your part too. What does Coach Brown stress when it comes to, those kind of games, big games? What does he really stress?
Just competing really to the final buzzer. He's been stressing us these last couple weeks, just competing all the way till the end, because we'll be playing good throughout the whole game, and then at the end we'll just maybe take some plays off and be soft and not be competing like we should be, and that will probably cost us the game like it has a couple times.
Right. Now, you guys are tournament tested this year. You had the Armijo tournament, and obviously, you guys had a pretty good run there, and with that championship game, and then the Metro tournament. So, you got to feel that you're ready. But there's teams outside the city, Capital, Santa Fe, Las Cruces. Obviously, there's a pretty tough field out there. Talk about maybe some of those opponents.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely Cruces is definitely going to be coming in with our name on there. We're going to have a target on our back with Cruces, just what happened in the Armijo Classic. And then with Santa Fe, they're going to come in strong with JB and all their underclassmen that are going to step up and really do it right. And then with Capital, TJ,
right,
and all those
kind
guys.
of the team that no one,
we don't
see them enough, and things like that. Let's switch away from that a little bit and talk about your future. But before we get to that, I want to talk about your brother a little bit, because really, your brother is the walking example of there's so many different roads to D1. So talk about that first, for our audience that doesn't know that story.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, my brother, he got injured his senior year, as you know, had a D1 offer to Sacramento State, tore his MCL, and then they pulled it. He didn't lose hope. He kept focused, kept grinding, and then he got a JUCO offer, went out to Trinity Valley in Texas, grinded these last 2 years, and then finally got his offered to Louisiana Tech and is balling out there now.
That has to be a tremendous form of motivation for you, obviously, to see that happening in your own household, that any route to D1, right? So what's on the path for you basketball wise? Obviously, the improvement from junior to senior year. If I was a coach, I'm thinking, well, man, if he can make this improvement again year to year to year, that's you have the advantage. You're 6'8". Someone's always going to take advantage.
Yes, sir.
Take a chance on a 6'8" guy. So talk about, who's been contacting you? What are you looking at to do after?
Just the same JUCO that my brother's been at. They've looked at me, and then just small D2s and D3s across the nation, really. Nothing. I'd probably maybe go JUCO also. Just my brother's inspiring me just to do big things like him. So,
I mean, you guys got to be a pretty good example of what can happen, right? I mean, because other athletes probably they want to go the D1 route, right? They're so narrow-minded on D1, D1, D1,
Yeah,
D1, right?
exactly.
But the other route, it's right there. It happened for you guys. And well, your sister's pretty athletic too, right? So talk about that. What?
Yeah, so like my sister was a soccer player, but then again, she had knee problems too, and just tore her like ACL in track, and so it didn't turn out too well for her. She just went and pursued a bachelor's and or master's in business now, but definitely.
So what's Thanksgiving like at the Dickey household? I mean, are you guys playing backyard football, backyard basketball? What's going on? Soccer? What's going on?
No, we really just spend a lot of time together. We're always just at the family table, just talking up, telling stories, really. And then me and my brother would probably go play some Xbox with our cousins.
Okay,
and stuff
three
sometimes.
things you did better than your brother. Go ahead right now. 'Cause he's probably going to watch this.
Three things.
So three things you did better than your brother. And he doesn't even have a chance to respond, so you really can say whatever.
Yeah, so definitely have more bounce than him.
Okay, all right.
Ooh, I'm definitely a better video game player than him.
All right, all right.
And then I'd say definitely better fashion.
Better
sense of fashion than him.
All right. Who was better in the classroom?
Oh, definitely me too.
You got another one on him.
Definitely me too.
You know, he might have to tweet his response since he doesn't get to reply.
Exactly.
All right, let's end on this. You're an NBA guy too, right?
Yeah.
Big fan,
yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
All-Star game coming up. What did you think of this All-Star draft?
I'm honestly I'm not against it. Definitely some guys earned it, but then some feel like they earned it, but then just didn't get the recognition that they did. Definitely big on Brandon Ingram actually getting recognized, and then I'm probably gonna go with Team LeBron. Gonna take this.
I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close, right?
I know. Definitely might.
All right. So if we did an All-Star draft right now, Volcano Vista off the board, you got first pick. Who would you pick?
First pick?
Yeah, unless you want me to take first pick.
I got Trey Watson.
Okay. So then I get the next two, right? Because it goes snake.
Yeah.
All right. So then I'll take Duraje and oh man, I wish no Volcano guys. I'll take Duraje and let's go Eloy Medina.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, so now you get two.
All right, and then I got Josiah, and then Josiah, and I'll take Junior Hodnet.
Okay, all right. So now I get two. I'll go Brown and Corbalon from Cruces.
Oh yeah. All right, and then
this is your last one, right?
Yeah, and then I got Isaiah Carr, Cruces.
Okay. You're gonna take the big sophomore. Huh?
Big sophomore.
All right, so
yeah.
I need one more guy, and let's see. I need some more shooting on my team, so I'm gonna go Jude Tapia with my last pick. No,
definitely.
actually no. I'm gonna take that back. I'll go JB White, my man JB. All right, that's
Definitely
my All-Star team.
Definitely a good choice.
All right, so who do you think one-on-one? What team's gonna win that?
Ooh, I'd say that'd be a close one. We both got great height and great guards, so but I'm gonna have to give it to me.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. So, lastly, I mean, I know this is kind of a repeat question, but when you go to a place like Volcano Vista, is anything less than a blue trophy? Is it a disappointment, or will you look back very fondly on your time there, no matter what happens?
Being completely honest, it would probably be just, regardless of whatever happens, just as long as I give it my all, really, I'll just be happy with whatever results happen.
Well, Terrin, thanks for coming in.
Thank
good
you
luck
for having
the rest
me.
of
I
the
really
way.
appreciate you.
I know it's down to crunch time, and thank you for watching, and good night, everybody.